Hello everyone, I haven't spoken for a while, so I'm just trying to catch up on all my videos. I apologize for being missing in action, just been crazy busy. But anyway, so today's topic is going to be the power of eye contact when you are talking to an audience, to the microphone, to the computer, like what I'm doing right now. So eye contact, why is it important? Let's start with number one. I always get asked this question, I get a bit nervous. Should I look at the audience? Should I not look at the audience? So I want you to imagine one thing. Imagine you're at a speech, you're listening to someone, and imagine your speaker talking to you for 1 hour. But all he does is look at his notes, or maybe just look at the front audience, and check in with yourself when you're listening to him. Check in and go, am I feeling engaged? Am I feeling included in this conversation or this presentation? And or have I switched off? Am I on my phone? Am I checking just because I'm not being looked at per se? So eye contact is very, very important. It establishes trust, and it also conveys the message that you're a confident speaker, no matter what. It is pretty unnerving to stare at a whole audience, especially when they're pretty big, but you'll get used to it. Okay, so, and sometimes, in the digital world, like right now, when there's no one in front of me except the computer, so, webinars, Facebook Live, anything like this, does eye contact matter at the time? Absolutely, yes. So I'm making contact with the webcam. I'm imagining it's a person, not just a webcam or a microphone or anything, because then it doesn't convey the same energy. So I feel like in my head I am talking to a person. I'm sure there's more than one person that's listening to me. So that's the way I tend to look at it when I'm doing a presentation where just by the radio, an interview, something where there's no other human in front of you. Okay, and it keeps you very focused on the topic of what you're talking about. Now, here are some ways you can use your eye contact to help you when you're talking to a small group, a one person, or a large group. Let me start with the small group. The small group is about 1 to 10 people in a group. There could be, in a small auditorium, small tutorial room, anything, or a small boardroom that you've got. So if you are standing while presenting, so I would say avoid pacing around the room or fidgeting, because where you go is where your eyes go. Okay, position yourself so that pretty much everybody in your audience can see your face. So if you're in a room of 10 people, try to position yourself so that all 10 can see your face. Round table, anywhere. And do not bounce your gaze from one person to another every 3 words, but aim to look at everyone in the group. Now that can be difficult. So if you're talking to somebody, you're looking at somebody, don't do this. Don't gaze very quickly. That is very, very distracting. So when you're making a point, look at one person, and then another point, look at one person, and then move on. So you want to look like you are talking to an individual, not a holistic entire group, because everyone wants to be listened to. Everyone wants to be talked to, not as a group, but as an individual. Always remember that. Okay. Point number 2. Another discussion is for medium groups. So groups of 10 to 40 people. Just give me a second. 10 to 40 people. So this is a bigger room, and you ideally be having a microphone, or if not, then you should probably request for one if it's above 30. Audience numbers above 30. So you aim to be positioned again so that everyone can see your face. The people at the back of the room, people at the side of the room, people wherever they are, they should ideally be able to see your face. Why? It's because your eyes and your face convey emotions and energy. Okay? Since it's a pretty large group, eye contact with everyone is going to be difficult, but aim to look at some members. So do make eye contact with specific people, and remember to look at all 3 sections, the front, the middle, and the back. Because no one likes it if you just talk to the front row. I mean, people sit at the back row sometimes for a reason, so they can escape, they can check their phone, whatever the reason, but you do want to include everybody in your audience. So look in front, middle, and back. Okay, and if the last row is just too far for you to look at, just sweep around the room when you're talking to the entire audience. So, or look at their foreheads or their heads, and that will give the audience an impression that you're looking at them, and kind of you're looking at the forehead. Okay, and it also helps in voice projection, because the further you look, the further your voice gets carried away. Number 3 is what I'm kind of doing right now. So it's talks, interviews, conversations over the phone, conversations over the microphone, conversations into a little loudspeaker in a team meeting. So you don't actually have a live audience in front of you. So imagine that you are talking to one person, not 10 people on the other side of the room, but to one person. So you are going to keep your gaze focused on the mic. So there's no video, like I'm focused on the video because I'm being filmed. But if there is just a mic in front of you and a little speakerphone, so you want to be looking there, not looking somewhere else and talking, because when you're looking somewhere else and talking, your voice kind of raises up and it's not directed at the mic and it's not a concentrated conversation. Okay, so try all the 3 for the different situations and attempt your speeches, and let me know which works and which didn't work. I'd love to hear from you. See you later. Bye.